I'm a little late to the party, I know, but this subject got me so heated that I just had to break my hiatus to talk or rather vent about this. So, if you haven't heard already, Mercedes is releasing an acceleration increase subscription service for its EQ models like the EQS, EQE, etc. for a staggering $1,200 a year. In case you can't do math, that's an extra $100 per month indefinitely, so long as you own that car or want to maintain that acceleration feature. Keep in mind, this service is to unlock a feature that is already part of the car. What in the dystopian BS is this? Like, no, really, let me set the stage for y'all. Today's car buying climate is a mess, to say the least. The 2020s have given rise to unseen car prices, as many of you know, like the junkyard level Miatas are becoming $5,000. Your mom's used Toyota Camry started becoming damn near $20,000. My GTI is 3 years older now and has over 40,000 more miles on it, yet according to KBB, it would still fetch me the same price had I sold it used back in 2019. Now, I'm aware that 2022 is more or less a recession type year, but new car prices are still alarmingly high. Like, have you seen the price of a new Civic these days? I know inflation is wild, but come on! The Civic is now the price of what an Accord used to be just a mere 6 years ago. Sure, you can argue supply chain issues, chip shortages, and the like haven't made it easy for car manufacturers, but to what end will things start to normalize relative to our current buying potential? It's no secret the average American is struggling to afford new cars. So what does the car industry do to alleviate that financial burden for its customers? Well, they start selling 7-year or 84-month car loans coupled with today's high interest rates. So with all that in mind, let's circle back to the main subject at hand. Why am I upset about a subscription service? Well, apparently it's not enough that we had to pay these absurd car prices with the extra options and generally be forced to deal with a crappy salesperson. Now we could be looking at or staring at paying a subscription on top of all that just to use an object that already had that potential to begin with. You might say, well, there's an easy solution for all this. Just don't pay for that service or avoid buying those particular cars from Mercedes if you're so mad about it. Well, you see, it's not gonna be that simple. If there's one thing I learned about consumers, it's that there will always be the idiots that want the latest and greatest at whatever cost. Which leads me to make this bold prediction. If we, the consumers, give into this type of behavior and reward these car manufacturers by actually purchasing said car with these subscription-like services, what do you think is going to happen to the car industry long term? Do I need to answer that? Other car manufacturers will undoubtedly follow suit because what's going to stop them if they see this business model succeeding for Mercedes in this situation? Additionally, imagine what's going to stop Mercedes from charging said $1,400 a year the following year to maintain your car's peak performance if they see successful sales numbers. Then what happens the year after that? Will it keep going up? Who knows? Is my argument purely speculation and more or less a slippery slope fallacy of sorts? You could think that, but I stand by what I'm saying. We've already seen this pattern or behavior before in another industry. Case in point, look what's going on with the streaming services. Back in 2012, 2013, Netflix used to be a platform where you'd be able to watch virtually everything. The next biggest challenger at the time was Hulu. Fast forward to about a decade, and now look where we are. Everyone wants a slice of that sweet recurring payments business model, aka subscription services. There's been a tremendous amount of TV show contract disputes and fallouts that if you wanted to watch whatever show you desire, more than likely you'd have to subscribe to all of them. In other words, you'd be effectively paying more than cable. Isn't that ironic? To continue, I wanted to drive this point home and repeat myself one last time. A car manufacturer wants to sell you a subscription service. Doesn't it feel like we're being inundated with subscriptions these days? The other week I was thinking it feels like we, the consumer, own nothing these days. We own nothing. Like, have you actually sat down and thought about that for a second lately? Nothing is truly ours anymore. There was a time you could buy, say, Adobe software, video games, so on and so forth, and actually have a complete product for the next few years, but now we're forced to pay indefinitely for some of these services if we want to, quote unquote, keep up with the latest DLCs or unlockables or just simply maintain usage privileges. Worse yet, some of these subscription services have been perhaps inadvertently released with a plethora of bugs. The mentality has, in my opinion, inherently changed from delivering a quality finished product to now delivering either minor slash incremental updates, yet charging you an arm and a leg each month, or, as I mentioned just a moment ago, these companies are straight up releasing a buggy product that they think, we'll patch it soon enough anyways, but we're still going to collect your money. I don't know about you, but I don't like where we're headed. I personally have been feeling the financial crunch lately between high inflation rates and stagnant salaries, and it's quite evident that many others around the world do as well. You can only squeeze us so much before we snap, and quite frankly, I think we're beyond that point. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Stay sharp. Peace out.